What's up, everybody? I have another tool for you. This tool I call video journaling. Most of us have journaled in some way, shape, or form at some point in our lives. If you haven't, you know the concept. People journal for a couple basic reasons. First off, they like to journal just to get feelings out, so you don't get them all bogged up inside and get you all stressed out. Also, people like to journal for another reason, and that reason is because you're trying to figure something out. You don't know how you feel about something. And third, it's kind of like a time capsule. Most of the time, people just want to go back and look and see how much they've grown, they've learned, or in my case, when I look at my journals, I go back and I go, ugh, how embarrassing. The way I used to write when I was younger, a lot of times I'm just like, oh my gosh. I try to use big fancy words. Most of the time I use the words wrong. Point is, those are some of the basic reasons why people journal. And journaling has been a great way to help people figure out themselves, process information, and just get stuff out. Now, video journaling, however, on the other hand, is far more powerful because the camera does not lie. Okay, wait, take that back. The video camera does not lie. I thought about it for a second. The camera can lie. It's called a selfie. You know, when you take 50 pictures to get it just right, and then the one that you get right, you Photoshop it, you tweak it up and you put that one up there. That's a little bit of a lie. Now, video camera, it's very difficult to do that. And what I mean by the video camera doesn't lie is that when you're talking about your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and you go back and watch it, you can see what's really going on. You know yourself better than anyone else. So I'll tell you a little background story at how this happened. So how I stumbled upon video journaling was many, many years ago. No, just like 7 years ago. I was helping a family. And this family I was helping out, I came up with this idea that maybe they could kind of video, not the whole family, but the individuals in the family. Maybe they could video their feelings about one another. And then they could play it for me. And then I could show it to them so that they could see what they look like when they're talking to each other. See, in this particular family, they had a lot of beef with each other. And the dad would always say things like, "Don't you know I love you?" And the kids were like, "No, Dad, we don't know you love us because you look like you want to hit us right now." So I had the dad video camera, how he expresses his love to his kids. The dad came back and was like, "Yeah, I look like I'm a jerk. I look like I'm mad, like I'm going to beat them." And I was like, yeah, probably not a good idea to have that facial expression when you're trying to talk to people that you want them to love you, follow you, and respect you. So I had some ideas that this could be a really good thing, but I never tried it myself. So my confession is the first 3 video journals I tried, they were horrible. In fact, they were so bad, it's a little embarrassing to admit this, but I'm going to say it anyways. First video journal I did it after a day of work. I was having a good day of work. I was counseling people. And afterwards I said, I'm going to turn on my cell phone. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to record my day. I'm going to record the things that happened to me because I had a really good day and I wanted to record it. When I went back and watched the recording, it looked like this. You know, I've been processing a lot of deep emotions today, and I've come to some big epiphanies, and I've exposed my soul to the universe, and I've brought back the... it was horrible. I don't even know what those words meant. I was doing this video journal as if someone really famous and rich was going to see it, and they're going to say, "David, we finally found the truth seeker. You can help us with all of our problems." I was actually recording it like someone was going to watch it. And I can tell you, when I watched it, I was so disgusted by it. I did 3 of them before I watched them. And when I looked at him, I said, yeah, I wouldn't hang out with that guy. My clients wouldn't open up and talk to that guy. My friends would laugh at me. If my friends heard me talk like that, they'd be like, yeah, you're not our friend no more. You got to knock that off. Luckily, I have some good friends that put me in check if I were to act like that. So what I determined was that I had to do something that I wasn't really comfortable doing. I had to press record on my cell phone and actually record myself when I was really struggling, and I wasn't thinking about what other people would think of me because I was so stressed out that I just needed to get this stuff out of me. Well, the story goes, I got a phone call about a week later, and this time I got a phone call that was not one of the phone calls you want to get. I got a phone call from another family that I was helping, and they told me that their 5-year-old son had just passed away from a boating accident. Now, they asked me if I would come to their house and help their whole entire family do basically kind of like a grieving support group for everyone in the family. And they said there's probably going to be a lot of people there, like 30, 40, 50, 60. I can't remember how many said they were going to be there, but a lot were there. And of course, because they trust in me, because they believe I could be of help to them and their family members, I said yes. And right when I hung up that cell phone, I started getting a lot of anxiety, because between you and I had only done grieving support groups like that for like 8 or 9 people. And it wasn't a day or two after the person had passed away, and it was never with a 5-year-old that had passed away. So I was really nervous, really insecure about this, because I'd never done it before, but yet I'd committed to do it in like 48 hours. Fortunately, I remembered this whole entire thing called video journaling, and here's what happened. I was getting in my car, about ready to drive down to their house. I put my phone up on my dashboard and I flipped it on airplane mode, because I didn't want anyone to call and disrupt me, obviously. And I got it just balanced just right. And I realized from my first 3 videos I did, I made a mistake. I was recording on selfie mode. So I was watching myself while I was video recording myself. And that's a big no-no, because as I was watching myself, I was checking my eyebrows, checking my hair. I was like, hey, what's up, girl? I was acting like I was trying to impress someone, like I said before. This time I said, that's distracting. How am I supposed to be real and honest and get some of my thoughts out there onto the video camera if I'm too busy trying to make like my bangs look right? I don't know what I was thinking, but it just was not a good look. So I put on airplane mode, flipped my camera around. This way I couldn't see myself, and I just pressed record. And what happened was something pretty crazy. I started talking about how nervous and scared I was to be able to help this family, how I wanted to help them, but I didn't know how to. A couple minutes into it, I had a huge epiphany that had nothing to do with this family, had nothing to do with any of my clients. It had to do with me. See, at this time, I just found out that I was going to be having, my wife was going to be having a child. I was just, the father that was about to have a child. And I found out it was going to be a boy. Now, I have talked about the father-oldest son or the father-oldest daughter relationship in a video on this channel already. But let me tell you, the father-oldest son relationship is very complex. And I'm an expert, so to speak, on this relationship, except I was missing one thing. I was not a father with an oldest son. So technically, I was far from an expert quite yet. And when I was doing this video journal, I came to this epiphany. I found out why I'd been having so many anxiety attacks throughout the past month and a half. Yes, me, therapist, counselor, helping people with anxiety, and then having anxiety attacks at night, and I had no idea why. Well, it was because I was always told by all these teenagers that I counseled, I wish I had a dad like you. You're going to be a great father. You're going to be so amazing. You understand kids so well. You're going to be a great dad, amazing, all these great compliments. And I was like, yeah, okay, thank you. And to me, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I probably will be a pretty good dad because I am kind of cool. And, and yeah, they are kind of right. I was figuring that they're right. Well, as soon as I found out I was going to have a child of my own that was a boy, I started to panic and not even realizing it. Because at this time in my life, I didn't even know who my biological dad was. So technically, how am I supposed to be a good dad if I can't call my biological dad and ask him what it's like being him? Now, I had an adopted father who I could talk to a little bit, but he and I were so different. We had nothing in common. We didn't look alike. We didn't act alike. Really didn't have the same interests. So he could only help me out a little bit. But during this video, to help this family, to get over this anxiety, I had this big epiphany that my big issues were that I was worried my son wasn't going to like me. I was worried that I was going to be a bad father and that I was going to suck. I was worried I was going to look like a hypocrite because everybody told me I was going to be a good father and I was actually going to be a bad father. So in the middle of this video, I realized I'm scared. And I started talking about it and I started crying. And then after I started crying, I started to realize this dad who had lost this 5-year-old boy, it was his firstborn son. Now, he'd been married once before and he had other kids, but in this relationship, in this marriage, this was his firstborn son. This was the new version of himself between him and this wife. And man, that helped me so much. I finished the video journal. I went down, sat in front of like 50 people, and it was by far the best support group I'd ever done in my whole entire life. And it was all because I did the video journaling first. So let me break this down to you easily in the steps that you're gonna need to make sure that you have high success in having a very good video journal. Step number one, just with the technology part, make sure that you're doing this with a device that you only have access to, or maybe an old device or phone. A lot of people will grab an old iPhone they have laying around somewhere, it still works, it still records, that they can hide this phone, it's not connected to any other devices. So make sure that the device that you're doing this on, it's got to be private, because you don't want someone seeing this, because yeah, you may talk about other people, but you also may share some things that you're just trying to sort out in your head and you're not 100% confident on how you feel. And if someone else read it, if someone else saw it, they may take it the wrong way. Second step, you want to make sure that you have this phone in a place that you are going to have some privacy. I like to do it in my car. Some people like to do it in bed late at night. I find that's not the most effective one, because late at night we're a little tired, we're a little exhausted. But if you're sitting in your car and you put your phone up on the dashboard, or if you have one of those little sticky things, put your phone up. It's an easy way to do this. Everyone's talking on something in their car, so no one really thinks that, oh, they're talking to themselves. That's usually not the case. And you're doing it when something's happening. If you are going to be doing this video journal in the middle of the day because something that you want to remember just happened, or something bad just happened, you're trying to figure out, that's another good reason why I suggest people do it in the car. The privacy, and also you're capturing the moment when it happens. You're not waiting till later on. The third step that's very important for this video journal to be really powerful and for you to really get the best out of this is to make sure that you have realistic expectations. When you first see yourself on camera, most people tell me that there's going to be some things you don't like about yourself, something about your language. Some people say that they look stupid, they look ugly, they don't like their nose, their teeth. Whatever you don't like about yourself, your eyes are going to go directly to that thing. As I call it the shame game. The things that you don't like about yourself, and you look in the mirror. So for example, if you have a pimple and you're doing the video, you're going to notice that pimple first, like the very first thing. You have to fight through this. The video journal can only work and help you grow as a person and remember some really important, cool things in your life if you're looking past your own physical insecurities, or if you're talking weird, you have to look past that to try to get the big picture. So don't get caught up on how you look, and don't get caught up on how you sound or how you act. Get more focused on what you're saying. Now, one of the good things about this is that if you think that you're like this one girl, she noticed she flipped her hair a bunch of times in the camera, and she said she hated it. I asked her, well, why do you hate that? She goes, because I hate girls who always flip their hair around going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I said, really? She goes, yeah. And I found out I'm that girl that's always flipping my hair around going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So she was mad at herself. The good news was, on the second video journal, she didn't flip her hair at all. So it actually helped her realize this is what other people are seeing of her. And if she doesn't like that about herself, maybe other people may not like that either. Step number 4, you want to start the video journal off with just one basic subject to help you get going and talking. When you do these more often, you will get better at them. It always helps if you have something good or something bad happening in your life, something you're excited about or something you're stressed about. Then I want you to do your highs and your lows. So what that means is, with everything that you're thinking about or going through in your life, there's always an upside and a downside to it. So let's say you just got asked out on a date and you're really excited, but then you're nervous about going on the date. So then you pull out the video camera, put it on airplane mode, make sure no selfie mode is on there, and you look in the camera and you start recording. Okay, someone asked me on a date. Okay, the high about that is I'm excited and I really want to go on the date. The low is last time I went on a date, it didn't go well. Or maybe the low was you get nervous when you go out on dates because you think you're socially awkward, or you don't feel at your best physically, whatever it may be. You want to say your highs and your lows. The video journal will help you sort out all your different feelings and emotions so that you don't bring that to the date. If you're having anxiety about the date, get the anxiety out through the video journal. When you watch the video journals, you'll see what you need to change. So step number 4, make sure that you're looking into this with a high or low perspective. Every situation you got going on in your life has good parts and has bad parts. That's one of the best ways to do video journals. Now, you can still do video journals on huge subjects in your life. Maybe there's one specific thing that's making you mad and you just want to vent about it, or there's one thing that you're happy about and you just want to share about that. But most people in the beginning, they need a starting point, some sort of a jump off point. So I always suggest use highs and lows. And if you're not sure if a category falls under, if this is a high or low, there's always the who the heck knows. The who the heck knows category usually is best for something like this. My ex just hit me back up and we're going to hang out with each other. Or my old friend that I haven't talked to for a while and we're in a fight just texted me and said they want to hang out. The high could be, I'm glad that they called me. The low could be that like I'm still mad at them. And the I don't know could be, I don't know how it's going to go. Especially if it's someone you dated before, it could be a serious who the heck knows, right? So highs, lows, and who the heck knows is a great way to start off on the video journals. Last but not least, your video journals, please keep them as long as you feel necessary. Now, there's some video journals for myself. I will keep them all the way until my children get older, especially when they're teenagers. I could tell my teenager, hey, when you were a little boy, I was scared to death to be your father. I was insecure. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. He may look at me and be like, yeah, so? But if I just played the video journal for him and pressed play and he saw a younger version of me crying, talking about how insecure I am, that I'm going to fail as a father, I think he's going to feel that a whole lot more. Now, some video journals, I figured out what I needed from the journal and I erased it shortly afterwards. Some video journals I like to keep around, kind of like a 3-month mark or a 6-month mark. It's like, all right, in 3 months from now, I want to be in better physical shape. In 3 months from now, I'm going to be done with this project. So I'm going to do a video journal in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Those are a little bit different because you can see your progress. Some people that have gone through bad breakups or deaths of loved ones, or they went through their own stressful times, they do video journals in the beginning, and then as they're going through the process, they keep on doing video journals. Once they're out of that difficult time in their life, they look back, like I said earlier, like a time capsule and say, wow, look how much I've changed. In the very beginning, I was struggling. In the middle, you could see I was getting better. And now their final video journals are a huge like wake-up call to them to show themselves that they can change, that they're not who they were in the past, that they can evolve, that they can get better. Sometimes it's good to also look back and see, wow, I was in a really good place back then. What were some of the things that I did back then to help me become happy, especially if you're not happy right now in your present life situation? So as you can imagine, these video journals can be used in so many different ways. And I just wanted to give this to you guys as a tool and share this with all my class and everyone that watches my YouTube channel so that they have something in their back pocket with them that can help them in any of life's situations. You could be going for a job interview. Right before you get into the job interview, pull out your phone, do a quick like, all right, I'm nervous about this job interview. I hope I get it. Just get through all those feelings, emotions, press stop, go in and do the job interview. It's a great way to just relieve all the tension. You never get a practice run in normal conversations before you talk to someone. Video journal can give you a practice run to iron out some of the kinks so you can figure out how you want to like really express yourself to increase the probability that that is going to go well. So this is how video journaling works. Hope you guys like it, but most importantly, I don't hope you try it. I look forward to hearing how it goes after you try it. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video. And if you liked it and it gave you some interesting ideas about how to deal with the drama in your life, like, subscribe, share, shoot, you know what to do. And if you want to raise your hand to ask the teacher a question, simply put your question in the comment box. Thanks for watching, Mr. Cos.